The following is a fan-made project. All My Little Pony programs, comic books, and related merchandise are owned by Hasbro Incorporated and its affiliates. Please support the official release.
Drop me a beat. Rainbow Dash needs to pass tests on Wonderbolt's history, but she's not ready at all because she didn't study. Her friends try to help so she won't do all full, and she highlights like I highlight my Bible. Fluttershy and Spike direct a terrible play. Pinkie tries to rap and Rarity. That's hysterical. Twilight looks like one of the village people.
だからハイハイハイ幸せがきっとハイハイハイ歌い出す輝いてるこの季節に胸が踊るの
Well, this episode sparked a lot of complaining about something that didn't have anything to do with the actual episode. This time, the American school system, because being dumb is patriotic. I really just have to say I'd rather hear a solution to the problem than more complaining about the problem. Speaking of solutions, if you're interested in an actual solution to the public school issues, take a look at the charter schools. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'll also say that my opinion of Philly Vanilli will not color my opinion on this episode. The reason I gave that one a negative review was because, well, obviously I thought it was objectively weak, but there was also the fact that pretty much everyone else was already praising what was good about the episode. I did somewhat enjoy the episode, but that's another issue entirely. My opinion on it objectively might change in the future, but it hasn't now. I will give this episode a fair chance. After all, Amy Keating Rogers is one of my favorite writers on the show, and if Philly Vanilli happens to be her dud, that's a pretty good dud to have. This episode has amazing pacing. I love how it focuses on the differences between the members of the main six, particularly Rainbow and Twilight. Each tries a unique method for helping her learn, except for AJ. Applejack is the practical sort who wouldn't take well to cramming. I'm beginning to think Rainbow Dash has ADHD or some other learning disability. People with ADHD have trouble learning through traditional means, and some have unique study methods. Rainbow Dash's learning method is interesting, watching absolutely everything while she's flying. I wonder why she developed that skill. And the moral is just wonderful. Adults and children alike can learn something from this episode. And that's what makes this show wonderful. There's really not much else I can say about the structure of the story. I mean, it's perfect. Word building. That's the word of the day. Actually, it's two words, but you know what I'm talking about. The Wonderbolt's history was brilliantly executed. By tying it to the banishment of Nightmare Moon and the formation of the Royal Guards, it makes sense that Pinkie and Rarity would know the history. It would be something that would be taught in all schools. The only reason Rainbow doesn't know it is because she clearly didn't pay attention in history class. Then it makes you wonder why Twilight thought a lecture would work. Each character was perfectly in character, so no Pinkie Pie issues like in that last Amy Keating Rogers episode. Even Spike has a strong presence, and he doesn't even have any lines. And I guess we now know why he praised Sweetie Belle's play. He's apparently an even worse director. Another touching point of this episode is Twilight explaining why she sees Rainbow as smart.
You are not dumb. You just learn differently. You're smart, creative, inventive, and...
There are many forms of intelligence. She never saw Rainbow as dumb, even though that would be incredibly easy for her to conclude. A testament to what a great friend she is. Oh, and Firefly was the founder of the Wonderbolts. What you did there? I saw it. The animation in this episode is just amazing. They do a lot of interesting things with depth and perspective. I also like how the animators have Twilight and Rainbow using their wings like real limbs. And we finally see signs of Twilight's lack of flight experience. About time. Also, the background music in this episode is brilliant. I especially like the tune that plays when Rainbow realizes that she's learned the Wonderbolt's history.
Yes? I know the history. I know it all. But how in Equestria did that happen? You learned it. Yeah, I got that. But how?
What could possibly make this episode any better? Amazing jumps.
I do not get all freaked out about tests. Seriously? Your freakouts are so epic, you sing whole freak-out arias about freaking out. Let's move on to my favorite style of learning. Flashcards! Wiki wiki. General this and Colonel that. They're the Wonderbolts. Something that rhymes with that. That was pretty terrible.
Now, don't you fret, Rainbow. This fashion show nonsense wouldn't help me learn nothing either.
Enough! No rapping, no cards, no costumes, no play.
No! Don't crush Spike's dream! But I gotta ask a question. What's with this guy's cleft? It's staring into my soul! 5 out of 5. Was there really any doubt in your mind? There isn't a single thing about this episode that I don't love to pieces. I mean, there have been tons of reviews that have been saying pretty much that very thing. And Rainbow Dash is a Wonderbolt now. Well reserved member, but same difference, really. I would think with how often they get their flanks waxed that the Wonderbolts would have a lot more second stringers. Also, this episode confirms that Griffin Chaser 2 is canon.
Yo, we're here to teach you to multiply. You will learn, all you have to do is try. Just hang with us and perform these rhymes, so you'll know how to do your time.
And I have chosen to name it Fallout Equestria.